Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you are back, as always, welcome back. Today I'm here with a marvelous Monday and week 3 of MARVEL-ous May. If you are new and you're not sure what I'm talking about, MARVEL-ous May is an event that I am hosting in partnership with Diamond Art Club. It is just celebrating all things Marvel related, and their partnership, the launch of Diamond Art Club's partnership with Marvel Studios, and just some really fantastic diamond painting kits. I don't know if you guys saw, I'm filming this on a Saturday. This morning, they actually just released a Spider-Man kit, which I know a ton of us have been hoping for, and I think that's amazing. I'm so stoked. But this event is running through the end of the month of May. It's actually not too late to join in if you'd like. It's open to anyone that wants to work on a Diamond Art Club and a Marvel kit from Diamond Art Club specifically. And yeah, we're working on our kits and enjoying nerding out over all things Marvel. I am gonna do today's video, this week 3 video, kind of just in whip and chat style, similar to last week's week 2 video. You guys, I am on the last row of Doctor Strange. I've kind of been trying to stretch it out and make it the kit last throughout the whole month of May, just so I can really keep that Marvel fun enjoyment going for myself. But yeah, I'm going to stretch this out, and I think maybe week 4 I'm going to do a review of this kit and whatnot, and it'll be fun. So anyway, like I said, if you want to join in, there's still time. You can enter. There's going to be today's video with some weekly prizes, and week 4 is going to have some weekly prizes, and then there's going to be some grand prizes that I'll be giving away, and I'll have more information about that shortly. But yeah, there's no new start, no finish required. It's just about, jump in and have fun. So how are you guys doing today? I hope that you are having an absolutely, dare I say, marvelous Monday. Thank you so much to everyone that watched and enjoyed the video that I did last week for week 2 of MARVEL-ous May, where Adam and I, my husband and I, just full on nerded out for an hour together. And quite frankly, when we get talking about movies and stuff like that, we could chat for just even longer than that. And he and I both really enjoyed reading your comments and seeing, okay, what are other people's favorite movies, and I even appreciated those of you that were sheepishly like, actually, Thor Ragnarok was my favorite movie. And he's like, I know, that's what a lot of people's favorite movie was. But it was a lot of fun. There's nothing quite like when you get a bunch of nerds with a shared special interest together that just don't mind chatting about all the things in a really fun and respectful and just like, this is the thing that we love kind of way. So I was talking a little bit with Adam and trying to figure out what I could do for the week 3 video, and I had been kind of really since the beginning thinking that it would be fun to do some trivia and just share some fun trivia with you guys about Marvel movies. And unfortunately, Adam couldn't join me for this particular week's video. He's got a pretty darn busy weekend, and he said to send all of his love to his fellow Marvel fans. But yeah, so Adam and I have this tradition. I love that I've basically roped him into doing a lot of these event videos with me, but we have this kind of tradition, especially pre-kids, we were able to do this more. But when we would go see a movie in the theaters, especially movies like Marvel movies, where there's always lots of fun Easter eggs, or there's fun like behind the scenes trivia to find out, but we would go and see a movie together in theaters. And then on the drive home, I would be the one driving, and Adam would pull up IMDb. And there's, which IMDb is just, literally, what does IMDb stand for? Just name is IMDb. International Movies Database, something like that, I think is what it stands for. It is the place to go for anything, specific movie related. If you want any information on movies. And there's always trivia sections and like silly goofs sections and stuff like that. And so our tradition was that I would drive on the way home and he'd pull up IMDb and pull up the trivia list for the movie we'd just seen. And so it's always really fun and can give you some fun insight into the movie itself. And so I thought, let me do a version of that with you guys. And as I was pulling it up, honestly, one of the ones that I thought would be most fun and most relevant, and a movie that likely most people have seen, was the original Avengers movie. I promise it's not just because I'm biased. And so that was my personal top favorite Avengers, like, MCU movie. By the way, after we did that video, and I was starting to see some of the comments coming in, I mentioned to Adam that it's like, technically, especially with Diamond Art Club's partnership and the Marvel kits that are available, I was like, there's a Deadpool kit. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be X-Men kits. Who has any idea? It's not just limited to the traditional MCU. It doesn't seem to be, especially given that like I said, we have this Deadpool kit. And I said, it didn't even occur to me when we were talking about our top favorite lists to include the X-Men movies or Deadpool or any of those. I don't know that it really would have, I don't know, it might have changed things. But just FYI, that was something that it hadn't really occurred to us, and our apologies. But yeah, it makes me more curious because it wasn't something that I'd put a lot of thought into, to see what else falls under that Marvel umbrella but isn't necessarily part of the MCU that we might see from Diamond Art Club in this licensing agreement. But anyway, we'll start with just going through some. I have my computer right over here and have the IMDb trivia pulled up, and some of these I think we mentioned in passing in last week's video, so you may have a little bit of deja vu. But I'm just going to kind of scroll through and do it really casually. If you're here to find out more about the weekly giveaways, stay tuned. As usual, there will be more info a little bit later in the video for how to enter and who the winners are for week 2. By the way, if you were one of my winners for week 1, and you're going, why haven't I heard from you? My apologies. I've had a particularly busy week, and I didn't have the chance to send over the info to my contact at Diamond Art Club, and then she went on vacation towards the end of the week. So I will get on that, and I will be in touch with you. And if you happen to be one of the winners from week 2, I will hopefully be able to reach out to you guys and get that all squared away this week. So thanks for being patient. I appreciate you guys a lot. Anyway, let's get into it. So trivia that is specifically from the Avengers movie. And I don't know, I'm curious. I don't know if you guys are if you enjoy trivia and stuff like behind the scenes stuff like this. But anyway, so let's see. It says Robert Downey Jr. kept food hidden all over the lab set, and apparently nobody could find where it was. So they just let him continue doing it. In the movie, that's his actual food that he's offering. And when he was eating, it wasn't scripted. He was just hungry. Adam and I mentioned this in the video last week, the scene where he's in the lab with the Hulk, and he pulls out like a bag of, I don't know, it's like freeze-dried blueberries or something. And then he like offers one. And I love the fact that they couldn't, according to this, like they couldn't find where he'd hidden all this food, so they just let him have at it. And so whenever he's eating or snacking, that was just Robert Downey Jr. being like, I'm hungry. I'm eating. It's snacking away. So this next one's a fun one. There were very few times that everyone was in town at once. This is, I think, talking about the crew or the cast. But on one night when they were all in town, Chris Evans sent them all a text message reading, quote, assemble, end quote, which is the tagline to the movie, prompting a night out on the town. Clark Gregg, who played Agent Coulson, has stated that this is his favorite text message that he's ever received. If I got a text message from Chris Evans saying assemble, I would die of nerdy happiness. Like, that would be just amazing. I like to think that, I mean, it kind of gives a vibe. I kind of do get the vibe that the cast and crew did get along, and that it was a good vibe on set and that sort of thing, just from what I've heard or read, or even just trivia sections like this. But I love that. I love that just seems so incredibly in character. I have no idea what wax is in this pen. I just grabbed what was a one that seemed to roughly color coordinate with this kit. And I think there must be some old wax in here. Let me do a really quick update on it. I'm like, I can't pick up any single drills. What's going on? All right. We'll grab this one. Anyway, that's a fun little bit of trivia. Okay, so this is another one we did talk about last week, but I'm just scrolling right through here. But it's here. There's proof that this was true, what I had said. So in the final end credit scene, again for the Avengers, Captain America is the only one not eating. That's because Chris Evans got a buzz cut and grew out his beard after the movie was done filming. He was called in later to do this extra scene and couldn't shave off his beard due to filming Snowpiercer at the time. So they gave him a prosthetic jaw. I didn't realize that because this is not the trivia part. This is me talking. I didn't realize they gave him a whole prosthetic jaw. He had his hand up and was covering the bottom half of his face. So I did not realize that they went so far as to give him a prosthetic jaw. That's dedication. All for what, like a 20-second scene? Dang. And it says, going back to the trivia point, he holds his hand over his face because the prosthetic made him look like he'd been attacked by a hive of angry bees. He's also unable to eat or talk with the prosthetic on. What in the world? And just seeing how that scene was shot, that seems completely unnecessary. Like, I don't know. Avengers was 2012. But surely CGI was enough to make up for anything that slipped through the fact that he was literally covering up his face with his hand the way that was shot. So, I don't know. That's funny. That's really funny. Next one says, reportedly, Iron Man's "let's just not come in tomorrow" speech was improvised by Robert Downey Jr., as was "doth mother know you weareth her drapes," another line that we referenced last week that Adam and I loved. I love so much when I hear that like some of the most iconic lines or moments in movies or TV shows were improvised, and I think, dang, that actress really got in the head of their character. That's fantastic. Every once in a while I come across these list style listicles from BuzzFeed or similar that get pushed on my Facebook feed. Every once in a while I do click into them, like the very stereotypical millennial that I am. And every once in a while, like I've seen one that's like, the top, these 8 moments in movies that you had no idea were unscripted or improvised or something similar. And I can't help it. I always click into those because I think that kind of thing is fascinating and so neat to see. And so many iconic movie lines and moments that were completely unscripted, and imagine like we wouldn't have had that moment if not for that inspiration. So anyway, okay, so next little point here, it says, I need to dump a little more into this tray. I'm running a little low. Okay, getting to the end of the kit, and I think I'm not the only one that sent feedback over to Diamond Art Club about it, but I am finding I'm running a little lower on diamonds, just on new kits in general. Like maybe they're just cutting it a little closer. It used to be a bit excessive how many leftover diamonds you would have. To be honest with you, it was sometimes I would have entire bags that I had not had to cut open. I can understand, like, let's not be wasteful, but sometimes I just worry, I'm like, am I going to run out of a color? Anyway, next trivia point says, the Hulk bringing Iron Man back to consciousness by roaring at him. So like at the end of the movie, after Iron Man falls back through the wormhole and hits the ground, and they're like, everyone's trying to wake him up, and then the Hulk roars at him, and he that's what wakes him up. Apparently that was improvised by Mark Ruffalo during his motion capture performance. Okay, That would be interesting. Just Mark Ruffalo done up in all of his motion capture gear, which if I don't know, I think I've seen some behind the scenes shots of, or pictures and stills or whatever, of often what the motion capture, sorry, bumpy there, looked like. And they're just in these tight green bodysuits and they have these little dots all over them. So I'm imagining Mark Ruffalo in this whole getup just hollering over Robert Downey Jr.'s face. I just, yeah, that would probably frighten me too. Okay, so next it says Joss Whedon, who was the director. Was he the writer as well? A director for sure, suggested to Marvel that there should be a bigger villain plotting behind the scenes, which enabled Loki to conquer the Earth, and then that someone should be Thanos, the Mad Titan. The executives just rolled with it. That's kind of nutty. If the idea was that he just suggested and they were like, yeah, okay, but they didn't realize that this would shape so much of future Marvel movie content and ultimately lead to what happened in Endgame and Infinity War. Like, my goodness. Oh. That's kind of wild. It was something that Adam and I, again, chatted about a bit last week, that some of the earlier movies, it felt like some of their purity came from the fact that it didn't necessarily come from or they weren't necessarily made with these huge, multi-movie arcs in mind that would like culminate in these massive team up, like end of the world universe, multiverse, everything kinds of movies. It was just, they were just trying to tell these interesting and good stories. But then you have a situation like this that, as it turned out, was setting up like the biggest bad of phases 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, okay. Next up, it says reportedly. Oh, this is interesting. Reportedly, a scene was filmed where, during the final battle, Captain America saves an old man trying to protect his grandchildren. He tells him to get them to cover, but as he walks away, the old man asks him, "Cap, is that really you?" He turns and, noting the man's World War II veteran pin, trades salutes with him. As Captain America sprints away, the children ask their grandfather, "Do you know him?" And he replies, "We all know him." That would have been a really, really, really neat scene to be included. Now, I know that when it gets to the editing room, a lot gets cut just for sake of pacing or for sake of time or just to fit really what serves the story best. But yeah, gosh, that would have been a neat nod and a meaningful scene as well. See, this is why I like reading the trivia, is because you find out about things like this. That would have been a really neat moment. Similar to, it makes me think back to, maybe this is why they cut it. Maybe it was too similar, or it was, really similar callbacks in the same kind of way. But in the scene where Loki is at the museum and he tells everyone to kneel, and there's the one older gentleman that refuses to kneel. And what's the line? Loki says something like, you never met a man like me. And the older gentleman who's refusing to kneel says, there are always men like you. And that's clearly a callback. And that was a really, I don't know, more of like a poignant moment. So yeah, maybe it was, oops, I just dropped my pen on my tray. It's fine. Maybe this would have felt, I don't know, too similar. I don't know. I'm not an editor. Okay, next one says, this is a lot of end of the movie type stuff. So when the missile is released over Manhattan, this is in the final battle, the pilot calls detonation in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The sequence between then and the actual detonation is 2 minutes and 30 seconds of film time. Okay, does anyone else do this? especially if it's a movie that you've watched several times. But if in a movie they do something like this where they're like, okay, detonation in X seconds, and then there's enough action or whatnot on the scene that seems like it's designed to take place in that amount of time, do you ever actually like look at your watch and go, okay, I'm just gonna like subtly set a timer here? I want to see if they actually did try to make it the amount of time that they're claiming that it is. So that's a fun thing. I'm sure Adam and I read this trivia over 10 years ago when this movie came out. I didn't remember that fun fact, but hey, that is a fun fact. That's a good fun fact. Next up, according to writer, he's writer and director. See, these different trivia facts, I think they might be user submitted and they get upvoted or downvoted. So that's why the wording is not always totally consistent. Like this one does specify, according to writer and director Joss Whedon, the "That man is playing Galaga" line was ad-libbed by Robert Downey Jr. and worked so well that Whedon decided to add in an image of Galaga on, quote, "that man's console" as the scene's punchline. I'll tell you, that line absolutely did seem like something that was ad-libbed, and I love it. It really might be one of my favorite lines of the movie, and I love that they added in a scene, that little bit at the very end of that scene with the guy actually playing Galaga on the screen. That was amazing. Completely amazing. Oh gosh. So, let's see. Next trivia point. Robert Downey Jr. asked the Marvel production manager permission to take away the letter, quote, the letter A that was on the Stark Tower with him, but he declined. However, on his next birthday, the manager gave it to him as a gift. That's fine. I could see them being like, no, we can't give you that. We're going to have more movies. But that seems very fitting because like I joked last week, I really feel as though Robert Downey Jr. basically is Iron Man. He has such a similar redemption arc and story that does seem fitting. So that's fun. Let's do a couple more and then I want to talk about giveaways because I don't want to totally bore you guys to death. I'll link to this trivia page, by the way, in case any of you want to continue on down the rabbit hole. I think that this particular movie has literally over 100 different trivia points, and so no, I'm not gonna sit here and go through all of them with you today. Excuse me for yawning. Okay. So next one says Joss Whedon explained that 2 of the founding Avengers members, Ant-Man and the Wasp, were cut from the script because the film had too many characters. Also, the screenwriters didn't want Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe until his movie was released. Huh. You know, I like that the characters that we had, for the most part, all had already had their own origin movies and or their characters had been in movies before the Avengers. It would have felt weird, I think, to have Ant-Man and or the Wasp introduced in that first team-up movie. I also like that it's not a huge team. It feels like they could focus more on the different individual characters and adding even more in. It already felt pretty full, you know? I'm glad they didn't have more in there because, as you can see in some of the later team-up movies, it's they definitely are not able to focus as much on individual storylines, and sometimes they don't juggle that terribly well. Looking at you, Civil War, but I know I'm not going to stir it up again, I swear. Okay, so, I love this one. Okay, of course we had to get a good Loki trivia in here. So when filming the scene of Loki yelling at the Hulk, Tom Hiddleston, who played Loki, had a rope tied to his leg, and since the Hulk is just CGI, when the rope was pulled, it would appear that Hulk had grabbed him. Tom knew it was going to be pulled during the speech, but he didn't know when, so that he wouldn't be anticipating it. Poor Tom Hiddleston. He just has to give the speech and just know any moment, mid-word, mid-sentence, he was going to be yoinked. I want to know what the rest of his speech was. How long was it? How much got cut? I want more information. But that one does crack me up. Oh gosh. It's funny to see what effects they do, practically speaking, well, in a practical way, and which they do just pure CGI. So that's fun that one was part both, and it actually that would be really comedic to. I want to be the guy that's pulling the rope that decides now someone going to yank it out. Oh my gosh. This is fun. Here's a Jeremy Renner fun fact. I know we have some people that were hoping that we would maybe get a Hawkeye diamond painting kit or maybe Black Widow. I think I'd happily take a pair, like a diamond painting with the two of them. Because in my mind, they often kind of go hand in hand. So anyway, Jeremy Renner was apparently trained by Olympic archers for this movie, which is really fun. And also, Clint Barton, that's Hawkeye's name, his name. He, as a character, is supposed to be ambidextrous. Jeremy Renner is left-handed, but you actually see him shooting right-handed in Thor, and both right-handed and left-handed in this film. That would be hard, trying to train on your non-dominant hand to do something like archery. Oh my gosh. I have mad respect for Jeremy Renner. I'm also really relieved that he's recovered from that crazy snowplow accident where he was basically being a superhero. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but yeah, no, I'm glad he's doing well. Let's see. Tom Hiddleston revealed in an interview that the code name for the film early in its production was Group Hug. I love that. That is a fun fact. So if you didn't know, to help preserve secrecy, even in movies that don't require the level of secrecy that Marvel movies have now gotten to, they usually have some sort of code name that they go by, and that you'll even see on the earliest versions of the scripts and whatnot. And sometimes they're just completely highly entertaining, and they usually have something to do with the story or the film itself, but it's just a bit off. Like this one, Group Hug. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, well, we've gone through a bunch of trivia points. Now seems like a good time to do just a little break and talk about giveaways. So first, you guys, I would like to announce the winners from week 2. And I have 2 prizes to give away to 2 winners. And it's the same thing each week. I'm really, really lucky that Diamond Art Club is sponsoring this event and has very, very generously donated multiple prizes for me to give away each week, and some fantastic grand prizes, which, like I said, I was going to tell you some more about this week. But first, let's get through the weekly giveaway winner fun. So the first prize I have to give away for week 2, which to enter for the week 2 giveaways, you just had to follow the instructions in that particular video. And I used a random comment picker to draw the winners' names. And I'm going to include screenshots in this video because I am filming it ahead of when the giveaway officially closes. And so, of course, I'm not going to draw the winners until the giveaway is closed so that everyone has a chance to enter that would like to. Anyway, the first prize I have to give away is a diamond painting kit from Diamond Art Club. It's going to be one of their Marvel kits, and as long as you filled out the weekly giveaway form correctly and accurately, and you've told us which kits you already own, we are going to do our very, very, very best to send you a kit that you do not already own. I cannot guarantee that this will be the case, but we will give it our very best try to do so. Anyway, just wanted to go ahead and announce the winner for the week 2 prize of a Diamond Art Club Marvel kit. And the winner of this prize is, take a look at the screen. Congratulations. Keep an eye on your email. I will send you out some more info, hopefully this week. But feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. I have my email always linked in the description box below. And then next, I would like to announce the winner of the $50 Diamond Art Club gift card from week 2's giveaway. So the winner of the $50 gift card, which was open to both US and international viewers, is, look at the screen. Congratulations. Again, keep an eye on your email, and I will have that sent out to you as quickly as I can, hopefully sometime this week. So congratulations to our week 2 winners, and thank you to everyone that watched and entered. Like I said, I hope you had fun joining Adam and I for that video last week. Now, how to enter for the week 3 giveaways. Blah, blah, blah. Words are failing me today. First, 2 important steps, just like the first 2 weeks, it's going to be a really similar thing, but I neglected to actually mention out loud in last week's video the first step. So the first step thing, and the thing that I need you to do, if you want to enter for this week's giveaway prizes, is to take a look in the description box of this video. There will be a form there linked that says weekly giveaway entry form, and I need you to fill that out. Now, what I forgot to mention out loud in last week's video, I put a little note on the screen, but if you have filled out this form in either weeks 1 or 2, you do not need to fill it out again unless your address has changed. And that's all. is just, you only have to fill out one time during the course of the event, and it's good for the whole event unless your address has changed or you have an email change or something similar. The second thing that I need you to do to enter it for the week 3 giveaways, which I have 2 prizes to give away this week. I have a $50 gift card, again, which is open to both US and international subscribers, and I have another diamond painting kit from Diamond Art Club from their Marvel collection that, like I said, as long as you have filled out the weekly giveaway form and included in that section the question that asks what kits you already own, you've accurately noted which kits you already own, I promise we will do our very best not to send you a duplicate of one of the kits you mentioned there. So the kit prize is open to US only, and then the gift card is open to US and international. So fill out the form as step 1, and step 2 is to leave a comment on this video. I'd love for you to tell me who your favorite Marvel character is. That was kind of going to be the runner-up topic that I was thinking of doing for week 3, was kind of a similar ranking idea to the week 2, where I thought I could pick my top 3 favorite Marvel characters, and then I decided to go with the trivia idea, but I thought I could still include that and incorporate that into this week's topic, and I can ask you guys, who is your favorite Marvel character? And it can be someone that's from the comic books or someone that's from the MCU, the movies. It can be from one of the other kind of the ones that aren't considered a part of the mainstream MCU, like one of the X-Men movies or Deadpool or movies like that. Let me know who your favorite Marvel character is. Mine is, if you've watched any of these videos, I think I've mentioned it in about every single video, but mine is Loki. If I had to pick a runner-up, that would be really tricky. Maybe Spider-Man. He's a big favorite. Doctor Strange, Iron Man. It's hard to narrow down from there. Like, Loki is easy, number 1 spot. Down from there, it's hard. There's a lot of good ones. So anyway, best of luck. Please, by the way, just a reminder, don't include the words giveaway or prize in your comment. Those automatically get filtered out because they tend to attract bots and whatnot. So best of luck to everyone that enters. This week 3 giveaway will stay open until, let's see, look at the calendar. Saturday, May 27th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, and the winner will be announced in the week 4 video, which will go up on Marvelous Monday, next Monday, May 29th, which is a holiday in the US, but I'm still planning on having a video go up that day. And there will be 2 more prizes that I get to give away as part of week 4. I also wanted to let you guys know a little bit more about the grand prizes. We are going to have multiple grand prizes to give away that are, again, donated by Diamond Art Club, and they're going to be some very generous gift cards. Now, I still need to nail down the exact amount so that I can share that with you guys, but suffice it to say that if we've been giving away $50 gift cards every week for the weekly prizes, the grand prizes are going to be even more than that. So stay tuned, and I believe we're going to have either 2 or 3 to give away, and I will go ahead and I will put up in the description box, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging on this. I'm going to put in the description box the link to the grand prize entry form, which is now live. It's going to be really similar to the weekly prize entry form. The main difference is going to be that I'm asking you to include a picture of your kit that you worked on. It does not have to be completed. I just want to see that you worked on a kit and see the different kits that everyone has worked on. It'll be really neat to see. I wonder, what kit was worked on the most. And though I have a guess, I think Balance may have been one of the most popular, which was kind of the team up one. But I will have that linked below. And I will also, once I've chatted and have the exact amount nailed down for what the giveaways are going to be, I'm going to add that to the grand prize entry form. And I will absolutely have those exact numbers for you in the week 4 video. So it's going to be multiple Diamond Art Club gift cards, and they are going to be very, very generous. I'm pretty sure I know what they're going to be, but I don't want to tell you the wrong thing before I've had the chance to triple check and confirm. So thank you to Diamond Art Club for donating so incredibly generously for this event. And I wish you guys all the best of luck with entering for the weekly prizes for this week and next week, and for the grand prize giveaway as well. So anyway, I wanted to go through just a couple other trivia facts, and then I'm going to wrap it up for today. There's a couple more I was looking at that I thought would be fun here. So let me take a quick look. Okay, here we go. So there's a couple more here. So Chris Evans, aka Captain America, was unsure about his character's line, "I understood that reference," because he was worried it would make audiences think that his character was unintelligent. However, he was quickly comforted after he watched the movie with an audience and he saw that they found the line humorous as opposed to stupid. That's so interesting, and also it is sad because that he was worried about that. It never occurred to me to think, oh, that means that Captain America is dumb. It made perfect sense, and I thought it definitely read as humorous. So that's really cute that he was worried that people might think that it made his character look stupid. No, he's just a man out of time, and he's doing his best to catch up, and he's a nice guy and stuff. So that's funny. Let's take a look. According to writer and director Joss Whedon, the original cut of the movie was over 3 hours long. So remember, I was talking a little bit earlier about how, there probably was a lot that had to be cut, because that's just how editing and filming movies goes, is you shoot more than you need, so that in the editing room you can cut around and put together what makes the most sense story-wise and pacing-wise and whatnot. So about 30 minutes of the cut footage are included on the Blu-ray, most of which revolves around Steve Rogers struggling to adjust to the modern world. Chris Evans announced later that these deleted scenes would be used for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Interesting. So I wonder if that was the case, or if they reshot some of that stuff. Okay. All right, you guys, we'll make this the last one. Let's see. This is fun. This is actually really fun. Okay, Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury is from the Ultimate Marvel Universe, which is comic book series, I believe, graphic novels, created in 2000 to reimagine and update the Marvel heroes for the 21st century. Fury's likeness was actually based on Samuel L. Jackson, who gave Marvel permission to do so. Subsequently, again, this was in 2000, they did this. They had his permission. They created this character and made him look like Samuel L. Jackson with his permission. So subsequently, based on that likeness and the actor's star power, Samuel L. Jackson was cast as Nick Fury for all MCU films, starting with Iron Man in 2008. And that's so perfect. I don't know if you guys have heard this trivia fact before. I had, and I am so fascinated by it, that whoever created this particular comic book or graphic novel in 2000 thought, I'm going to do this character, and Samuel L. Jackson has the perfect look and vibe for this character. I'm going to see if I can get his permission to do it. Samuel L. Jackson gives his permission, and then 6-8 years later, depending on when casting actually happened, then they come to him and be like, hey, you know that character you gave us permission to use your likeness for? You want to actually play that character in like a live action film? He's like, yeah. And, you know, probably with a MFer thrown in there just because that's what he does. So anyway, I thought that would be a fun one to end on because he's that character, and I feel like Samuel L. Jackson as that character is such a staple of the MCU, and it's hard to imagine the MCU without Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. So, though of course, you know, it's looking a little bit different now, but back then, especially with those like core movies, those early movies, it was really fun. So anyway, thanks for joining me for a fun little trivia night for Marvelous Monday in Marvel-ous May, week 3. If you had fun going through these and you want to read more, like I said, there are so incredibly many facts on here. And I'm sorry, here's a bonus one. I'm like scrolling, so I was gonna see, can I see how many there are? Will it tell me? And I was just scrolling and I paused for a second, and this was a fun one. So the German police car skidding on its front end after Loki blasts it was a complete accident as it failed to flip over initially. See, stuff like this is just fun. It's just really fun. So anyway, I will link to this IMDb trivia page if you want to go and just dive down the rabbit hole of trivia behind this movie or any of the other movies. Like I said, any movie on IMDb, most of them, especially like these well-known ones, are going to have a trivia section. And they'll typically, sorry for yawning again. They'll have a section with spoilers. I didn't even read any of the ones under the spoiler section. Are there any good ones in the spoiler section? I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Well, here's another one to end it on. This is, I don't know. They talked about more spoilery stuff in the early ones. I'm not sure how they include this in a separate spoiler section. It was, according to Joss Whedon, it was his decision to include Thanos in a post-credit scene. And here's the actual quote from Joss Whedon. It said, "He, for me, is the most powerful and fascinating Marvel villain. He's the great granddaddy of the badasses." I was going to say, can I say that word? Will that offend people? And he's in love with Death, with a capital D, like the character of Death. And I just think that's so cute. Somebody had to be in control and had to be behind Loki's work. And I was like, it's got to be Thanos. So anyway, that's in his words why we have Thanos, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the Thanos kit, I think what was the name of that one? I don't remember the exact name of it, but the one that's just Thanos, and he's got the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones in it. I think all those stones are crystals, the iridescent diamonds from Diamond Art Club. And I've seen just a couple people working on it, and it really is so ridiculously sparkly and amazing. So anyway, I'm really going to wrap this up here. Like I said, feel free to go down the rabbit hole of the trivia if you want. I will link it below in the description box if you're curious. I'm going to work on finishing this section, and then I'm going to try to put this up so that I can save some of the rest of this to gradually finish as we go through this last week and a half for Marvel-ous May. But thank you for joining me for another nerd-tastic video. I hope that you had fun, and I hope that you all have an amazing rest of your weekend. Enjoy keeping working on your Marvel kits. Don't forget, you can keep sharing your progress on social media, on Instagram or on Facebook. There's lots of diamond painting Facebook groups that you can share it if you'd like to share your whips in diamond painting Facebook groups. I have a Facebook group that I share with Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights. It's called Diamonds and Emeralds, and I always have it linked in my description. There's lots of links in my description, you guys. But you can use the hashtag Marvel-ous May, DAC, and you can even follow that hashtag if you want to see everyone else's projects that they're working on. It's been a lot of fun. So anyway, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things diamond painting over here. I'd love to have you in the community. And I will chat with you in the next one. Bye.